Let's just start by saying your name, and if you could just spell it out for me, please.
I'm Jason Bass, Jasonbass.
Okay. Now, Jason, give me a little background, like where are you from and how you got to complexity.
I'm born and reared in Houston, Texas. I got into competitive gaming about 12 years ago from the media side. I was vice president of operations for a website called Gotfrag. It was kind of the ESPN of gaming at the time. I got into complexity because the founder, Jason Lake, he and I became very good friends, and about 5 years ago I offered my help, and he asked me to come on as part owner of the company and help to run the company with him.
And what is complexity? What is complexity?
Complexity is a professional gaming team. We're kind of a blend of a marketing agency and a team like you would think of, like the Houston Texans. We have a stable of athletes that we sign for gaming, and they compete under our banner at different events around the world.
So tell me a little bit, what is professional gaming?
So professional gaming in our industry, we call it esports. So they train just like athletes. That we've got guys living here in the house right now that train 8 to 10 hours a day to compete for large cash prizes, sometimes upwards of $1 million for first place at different events around the globe. Our dota team, which is we might want to do that again. I don't want to confuse people.
Oh, sure, no, you can go
Okay,
ahead.
so we just had a team compete in Seattle at the Penny Arcade Exchange 2 weekends ago for $1 million for first place. They didn't win, but one team did win $1 million. The total cash prize for that event was $1.6 million. So it's gotten pretty legitimate in the sense of the amount of prize money. I kind of equate it to, kind of like poker or tennis, where the prize pots are kind of where these guys make a lot of their money. Some of them make salaries and are paid to play and train, and we provide a mechanism for them to focus on their gaming and not really have to worry about how they're going to get to the event or how they're going to afford to pay for their food or their rent. So they can just focus on their trade and focus on winning and trying to win that prize money.
Okay. And what are your responsibilities as the owner of the house?
So, well, more as the owner of the company in the sense, we're a small company, so I handle most of the finance, I handle a lot of the operations, I'm involved in pretty much every aspect from player development, player acquisition, scouting, you name it. We have a fairly large staff, and so we have different levels of responsibility, but at the end of the day, there's two of us that run the company, myself and Jason Lake, and we have to wear multiple hats, so pretty much anything you would think of running a company, and a big portion of our revenue comes from sponsorships. So a lot of what we do with our sponsorships is to market for those companies, get gamers to trade shows, get them onto the stage, onto camera, the stream, so that the logos are seen and endorsing products. And we have a studio here in the house in which we actually do product reviews and different sorts of content to help expand our partners' reach into the gaming space.
So, while the lion's share of the revenue is from professional gaming, you guys are expanding into other things like product reviews and things like that?
Well, the lion's share of our revenue actually is more like a NASCAR model. Our players are our cars, if you will, and we slap the logos of the companies that pay us to market for them. So as part of that marketing, we have to expand into other areas to get that constant marketing drumbeat going for our partners like Sound Blaster, to show the players wearing the products, using the products, endorsing the products, reviewing the products, and then other content that gamers in general would find interesting, so that they can see the products in use at that point in time, as well as see our partner brands, because more gamers are apt to view content that would be intriguing to them and thereby see the advertising of our partners through that.
How do you become a professional? How do you become like an esports competitor or a professional gamer?
So to become a professional gamer, a lot of times we get just emails from people and they just say, hey, I'm really passionate about gaming, I really want to do this. But it's not as formalized as, say, the NFL, where there's college and training camps and farm teams and all that kind of stuff. But it's more formalized that you can't just really send us an email. You have to obtain a certain level of credibility and recognition inside of the industry. Go to an event and have a breakout performance and get noticed by an organization like ours. and then we will contact you type of thing to let you know we're interested in signing your services and your talent to our organization. So there are lots of events out there. It's a very open market. Anybody can sign up. They can compete online to hone their skills and then get to that first event and prove yourself, and you'll definitely get noticed, and you'll start your career as a professional gamer to where you can earn a salary from an organization like ours, your travel covered, and then you just get to focus on winning prize money at that point in time. We also have an initiative called our Academy that's focused on Starcraft II right now, which gives another level of that kind of farm system, if you will, that didn't really exist in gaming before we did it, where players can apply to be as part of our Academy. And what they get at that point in time is we have 10 players at the Academy at any point in time, and we run a tournament right before a major league gaming event, which is MLG, which is one of the more major tournament series in our world. And the winner of our Academy tournament gets their trip paid for, and if they do well, either through one or a couple of events, we will sign them on as a professional gamer at that point in time. From our Academy, we've already signed 2 players on that live here in the house right now as professional gamers.
So does that count as sort of, you have a job to be a professional gamer? Does that count as sort of like a job training school, or? That's
kind of a job training school. I mean, these players in our Academy have received some sort of level of credibility. We've focused on Starcraft II, and in the game itself, there is a laddering system in which you can be Bronze League, Silver League, Gold League, Platinum, Masters, Grandmasters. They're usually at the level of Masters or Grandmasters on the ladder itself. And then they fill out an application at that point in time. And we look for personality. We look for credibility on the sense that that they have achieved some sort of level of skill to where they actually have an opportunity to win the tournament. Because we want people we want to give more people the opportunity to go to these events that maybe they can't do on their own. They can't afford the plane ticket, the hotel room, the food, all the travel, everything that goes with it. But we give them that opportunity once they win to not have to worry about anything like that. Just go out there, do their best, and prove that they're ready to be a professional gamer.
Can I think you've answered this question, but can anyone become a professional gamer? What does it take to be a professional gamer?
So, just like anything else where you're a professional, I mean, anybody can be a professional, but to what level? Millions of people play games, but I think there is a misconception that, hey, I'm pretty good at this when I play on a public game server or something like that. I win most of the time. But when you play against one of our pros, I found that you don't recognize that there is just a whole other level that you would think these guys are cheating when you play against them, because they're at an incomprehensible level above and beyond what the average gamer is at when they play. So while it's a low barrier to entry to get a computer or an Xbox and start playing and get decent and good at the event or the game that you're playing, you have to have a certain set of skills and attributes in order to inherent skill in order to be able to become a professional gamer. And then the drive and desire to actually practice and hone that skill, and the mindset that it takes to understand the nuances of the game to be the best that you can at the game.
Can you make a living as being a professional gamer?
Absolutely. So being a professional gamer, you can make... There are several that make over 6 figures a year just playing game. There are quite a few that make over 6 figures, and then some that make into the 7 figures every year playing games through just playing, through their salary, plus their prize money, endorsements, streaming. Through services like Twitch TV have become a very good revenue generator for these gamers, because hundreds of thousands of people will tune in to watch them play. And just like on television, they run commercials, and those commercials, they get paid a percentage of every commercial they run, and every 1,000 people that watch it, they get a percentage of that money. And some of them make, we've got a gamer here who makes well over $100,000 a year just off his streaming revenue, because he has a persistent 5,000 to 10,000 people that watch him at any given time, and he streams 8 to 10 hours a day.
How do you get revenue from streaming? Is it like the ads that are...
It's the ads. So it's a model where Twitch TV, who's a sponsor of ours, they're the platform, and they sell the advertising. That they actually have a partnership with CBS Interactive, where CBS sells advertising against this, and when they click a button when they're streaming, they run an ad, and it's on a CPM basis. So every 1,000 ads that are viewed, you get somewhere between $5 and $10, which is of course subdivided between Twitch TV, CBS Interactive, and then some's left over for the player as well. But they can make a significant living with the right audience just doing streaming as well.
Why do you, this is actually a personal question of mine, but, why is it such a popular spectator sport? Because, when I see my friends playing a video game, I never like watching people play games. I actually want to play them.
Yep.
Why do you think there's so many people out there who just love watching people, like guys like them play?
I think it's a couple of things. I know that back when I was a gamer, I liked to watch the professionals play because I spent a good portion of my time. I spent 4 or 5 hours a day, and I wanted to be good. I mean, I didn't want to be a professional or anything like that, but I wanted to be good, and I wanted to learn. And watching the best of the best play, you can learn a lot that you never even knew, and then suddenly taking those ideas and concepts down to the level that you play at, you become dominant at your level, and that's one aspect. But a lot of these games, I mean, fighting games, I mean, everybody understands a fight. They understand boxing, they understand karate, the mixed martial arts, whatever. So they can watch that, and they can get behind the action and the excitement of, when somebody's just got 1/10 of their life bar left and they come back from that and win the match. Everybody can get that. That's exciting. Starcraft II and some of the other games that we see a large spectator audience for, it's because they have a large player base, and I think it's more along the lines of players that actually want to get better and learn, but they enjoy watching at the same time. I mean, StarCraft has spawned something called Barcraft, in which people are going to bars and having these large parties with giveaways and drinking beer and having a good time, just like you would for Monday Night Football. And they just love talking about the game, seeing the exciting moments, hearing the casters get excited and talk about it, the broadcasters, the color commentary, all of that. It really has been produced, and the production quality has gotten to the level of that of a professional sport at this point in time.
All right. If you just give me your name and how to spell it.
Scott Ford, SCOTTFORD.
All right, Scott. Tell me what you do here.
I'm the player manager for Complexity Gaming, and I also handle all the operations in the house where we're at right now.
What does that entail?
Just, paying the bills. If anybody comes in, handling that, filling out insurance forms, pointing out notices when they come in the house. Basically doing everything besides playing the games like my players are doing.
Okay. What is it like living here?
It's a lot of fun, actually, because normally there's an event, I should say, there's pretty much one a month or two every, 3 months, something like that. So you only get to see your friends every so often. Now it's like we go to an event as a team and we come back as a team. So you're living with your best friends.
Okay. I should probably ask this question first, but where are you from? Like, what's your background?
I'm originally from Edgewater, New Jersey. It was on the Hudson River, right across from New York City.
Okay. And how did you get involved with Complexity?
I was volunteering for a couple of European companies, just writing articles and, sort of just covering the video games. And when an opportunity came up to be a volunteer at Complexity, I jumped on it, got accepted right away, and, the rest is history, just climbed the ladder.
You were a writer? What were you doing?
Just journalist work for them. I was covering events, basically. Reporting scores back for our website, taking pictures, doing our interviews. And now, 5 years later, I'm the player manager.
Have you ever tried dabbling in professional gaming?
Is that going to affect your shot?
No, it shouldn't, because I have the natural light coming in from there.
Let me just kill the switch so it doesn't.
What happened there?
They blew, but this is the second time they've blown, and they come back on in like a day. It's like, if I turn it back on, it will come back on. It's awkward.
All right. What was I asking?
Have I ever dabbed in professional?
Yeah, professional gaming. Yeah.
Never really got into it. Back in Counter-Strike 1.6, I sort of played, I guess you can call it competitively, when I think I was a freshman or sophomore in high school. But I just had so much more fun playing with my friends, where sports was my competitive drive, and video games is where I had fun. So I never really, left my friends to go to a better team or try to be better.
Okay. What are you, what are the guys like here? Like, you're living with 10 or so 20-something-year-old guys in like one house. What's that like?
It's, well, what a lot of people like to say is, oh, it's just a frat house, but it's nothing like that. We're actually, we're like a family and we're brothers. We go food shopping together. Everything we do together, and it's just a lot of fun. And when it's work time, we work. And when it's time to, have fun, we all play different video games, have fun. We're competitive. We all want to beat each other. So it's fun 24/7.
What's work? What is work time?
Well, for our Starcraft II players, work time is pretty much 12 to 8 with a lunch break in between. That's our dedicated practice schedule, and that's 5 days a week. We're off on Wednesdays and we're off on Saturdays.
What do you do when the players are like practicing or doing their stuff in there?
When the players are practicing, that's usually probably the best time for me to work, is because they're all quiet. So I can sit there, I can make my phone calls, I can answer my emails, and it's basically an office day for me where everyone's just in their cube, as you would say.
How hard is it, managing all these players, planning out the events? Like, what's sort of like what's the most challenging part of that?
Pretty much the most challenging part is when it comes down to booking everyone's flights pre-event, because we book players from Korea, all over the country, so you got to make sure everyone gets there on time. You don't want to forget, obviously you don't want to forget anyone. So that's where your most focus and energy goes to, is before events, is making sure everyone gets there and they're there with enough time to adjust to jet lag. You don't want them getting there right before the tournament starts.
Is there sort of a science behind being a player manager, do you think?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's like being a manager in any other job. You have your tasks and you point them down.
Okay. What is the most rewarding part of your job?
When we win a match or we win a league. Like, we won the MCS Master Cup League last season. We were the 4th team out of 4 teams in the playoffs, so we're the worst seed. Beat the number 1 team, beat the number 2 team, and then played them again in the finals and won it in what's called an ace match, where it's do or die. So winning tournaments, to me, it's like my competitive drive when I used to play baseball and we won a game.
Okay. All right.
All
right, Josh. If you just give me your name and how you spell it.
My name is Joshua Niven, Joshua-Niven.
And where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay. I heard you live in the Sugar Land area.
Yeah, my family moved out there. I actually grew up over by the high school. They moved out there maybe within like the last 10 years.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a professional gamer?
I do now.
And how long have you been with Complexity?
I've been with Complexity for over a year and a half, but it wasn't until the beginning of this year that I went full-time pro.
What were you doing before you signed up with Complexity?
I signed up with Complexity last summer, and I was actually a full-time student and working full-time. Right after I signed up with them, I took time off school, and I didn't quit my job until the beginning of this year.
What were you studying?
I was an econ major, and I was at a crossroads where I was about to do a double major in finance as well.
So why did you choose progaming?
It's just something that, it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know, it's something that I've really enjoyed, and at the time when they picked me up, I was doing really well, so I thought I can go pretty far with it.
Okay. What do you hope to be as a professional gamer?
Really, I just want to do as well as possible. My end goal is to play in the largest tournament in the world called the GSL. It's a Korean ran tournament. Actually, it's based out of Seoul, Korea. It's extremely competitive, and it's actually a 2-month process. What is the game that you're really good at?
Starcraft II.
Okay. And why do you say that you're really good at it?
I'm just able to play in a competitive level against some of the best players in the world. I'm able to take games off them and push it to the extreme really.
What was your probably most remembered victory or win?
It was actually my run at MLG. I actually placed, it was last year, 2011, at Raleigh. I actually placed top placing American, and in the process I beat pretty much the favorite American going in. Going through that run, I actually placed top 16 as well. I beat a few other foreigner players too, who were considered at the time top tier.
What's it like, I guess, living here? What does your typical day look like?
For me, normally I actually wake up around 8 or 9 o'clock so I can play on the Korean server, because that's where not only do I get the best latency in the morning, but it's also the best practice. But other than that, I wake up, exercise for about an hour, and then I ladder, which is the practice against the Korean players. And then we start in-house practice around 12 o'clock. And we usually do that until maybe 4. And afterwards, evening time is just usually whatever. Sometimes I'll stream, sometimes I'll just, I don't know, just play like other games, just relax or something. Depends on like how intense my week was.
What's it like living with a house full of a bunch of 20-year-olds?
I mean, it's kind of what you would expect. I am the oldest in the house, and I mean, before like actually doing this, I was living on my own. So like living like the bachelor life, I guess you would say I'm kind of used to. But for them, like a lot of them act pretty much like, I guess I kind of treat them like little brothers, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I don't know what they would do without me.
Are you the, do you think that anyone could be a professional gamer?
Anyone who, I mean, it's just like being competitive at any kind of sport. Like you have to put in the work and effort for it. Like it's not just something you can do and become instantly good at. It's something you have to work for, like anything in life really.
Okay. You know, if I have any more questions, I'll come and ask you, alright? But hey, that was really good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Alright, if you just give me your full name and how to spell it.
David Tan.
David.
Davidtan.
Okay. And where are you from, David?
I was actually from Singapore, even though my nationality is Malaysian. I lived in Singapore for 16 years, but in the last 3 years I moved to Canada. So I lived in Canada for 3 years, and now I'm in Houston, Texas.
How do you like Houston?
Houston, so far the weather is great because I'm from Singapore, right, which is a really hot country. So coming here is just like natural for me, like perfect. Vancouver in Canada is kind of cold, so kind of rainy. Here is much better weather, so I love it so far.
And how long have you been playing video games?
Playing video games since I was about 9 years old, so 10 years.
10 years? And when did you like start learning that you were actually really good at this, that you could actually play as a job?
As a job, I started streaming 1 year ago exactly, on September 2011. And that's when I got my viewer base, and just when people watch me for my skill. And I got a couple hundred viewers, and became 1,000, and became a couple thousand. And that's when I know that, hey, people watch me for a reason. So that's when I knew that I could make this into some sort of living. Because make ad revenue, stream revenue, as well as subscriptions from the streaming. So yeah.
I know that every professional gamer has, you know, his or her game. What's your game?
My game is Heroes of Newerth, made by S2 Games.
Okay, and why that game?
Why that game? Because it's action-packed. The movement is really smooth, unlike Dota 2 and League of Legends. Whenever I move my mouse and keyboard when I play the game, I feel like the movement is not as smooth as Han. And also, it's more faster paced, which is my style. And it's a MOBA, which is a 5 versus 5 in a way. So it requires teamwork, coordination, and lots of socializing and talking to teammates and communication. And I like that aspect compared to like Starcraft II, where it's like more of a solo game. I like more of a social network kind of game.
Why do you think people watch you? Like, why do you think so many people watch you online?
People watch me online basically because a lot of people stream at a really high level Han, or high level Starcraft, or high level whatever game they play. But the thing that draws viewers in is, in my opinion, is entertainment value and your personality, attitude towards the game, and playing the game, sitting there being a dead horse, just sitting there playing the game. Yeah, sure, your skill is good, but people want more, you know. And I give them that extra push. I show them that I can be funny, entertain them, make jokes here and there, laugh about it, show them I can have fun, and show it. And when I play the game, I do it in a really comical fashion, and in a really unorthodox fashion where it just wows people. Like I do stunts in game, and it really that's what draws the viewers in, really.
what has it been like living here for the past 9 months?
Living in Houston?
Yeah, living in this house.
I've been living in this house only for 1 night so far.
Oh, one
I
night.
just got here, yeah.
Oh, you just got here. Okay.
Mhm.
How did you get here?
I got here after I was sponsored by compLexity 1 month, 2 months ago. And because we got picked up because we are quite a prominent international team, we were one of the best in Han, and our sponsor wasn't like a previous sponsor, wasn't as big, and they really wanted to buy us over, and compLexity bought us over, and I saw that they had a house, and I saw that it's a really like gaming house. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to leave Canada, come to Houston, see how it's really like, and they said, yeah, sure, come on over, and here I am.
Have you lived in like a house like this elsewhere?
No, I never lived in a house with this many guys and like just gaming, like just one room dedicated to gaming, and most of the time in front of the computer, just gaming, live streaming, and nothing like this ever.
Do you think that anyone can be like professional gamer?
I think what I did took me a lot of time, practice, dedication, a certain mindset, and I feel like people who chase their dreams will eventually get there as long as you work hard towards it. And for me, I spent a lot of time, a lot of micro, a lot of time. Maybe like I used to be playing 8 to like not 10 hours a day, every day for like a couple months straight up. And I think with enough dedication, but the most important thing is having a certain mindset that you cannot just one day just like stop practice. You can't do that. You can one day like, hey, I'm gonna stop working out. You're gonna lose all your muscles. It's something simple like that. You're gonna lose all your skills. You're gonna get rusty. You can't do that. And that's why I think anyone can do it if they have the certain attitude towards gaming.
What would be your tip to someone who wants to who this is their dream? They want to be a professional gamer.
They want to be a professional gamer. My tip to you is start live streaming first. And start talking to a lot of people, have some connections in the online world, and just be a funny guy. So people like you.
And have you won any tournaments or big matches where like there was a prize purse or prize money?
Yes, and in January I was invited to NASL, which is North American Star League, and we won 3rd place there. It was my first match in tournament actually. Afterwards was DreamHack Summer, which was 4th place, which wasn't so much. But recently, a month ago, we won the DreamHorn Summer Online Championships, which was a total of 40,000 prize pool, and our team won $20,000 plus a free expense-paid trip to Sweden, 5 of us. So that was the biggest prize pool. It was the biggest online tournament ever, and we won 1st place for that. And yeah, that's why we got picked up by compLexity. That's actually our debut tournament match for compLexity.
What are your other hobbies besides video gaming?
Besides video gaming, I gotta say table tennis and swimming. I miss swimming so much because I used to be from Singapore. It's hot, so all you do pretty much is swim. It's too hot to play outside, so you play inside and play table tennis usually.